Cafe Reconcile came to me through a friend. He did the program. He tremendous results from it, and I was like, I want to decide. I'm like, you know what? Let me take Cafe Reconcile for a try. When I came in here, Cafe Reconcile meant to me a second chance because as far as what I used to do out there, it was not getting nowhere in life.
Cafe Reconcile is a mission that operates a cafe that does training for disconnected youth. And part of what our mission is to get the youth connected back with society. It's that they're not able to hold a job, they're not able to be productive in society. So it's our place and our mission is to get them to the point where they become productive members of society. And that kind of starts off with teaching them about the basic skills of life. Cafe Reconcile is not a job training program. We're life training. We're preparing young people for their life, to live a life, because the young people that we get are used to surviving. All they know how to do is survive. What we're trying to teach them is how to live. In order to live a life within the society, having a job is a part of that.
My goal is to own my own restaurant and my own house and be able to tell my kids about a great life and, you know, finish my GED. Because I also take GED classes. They help me get in the GED school, no play. Well, I might be moving now to, I think it's the youth empowerment down the street right here. I'm about to start attending that program probably like next week. So yeah, to finish my GED.
When I first came here, my mind was set on just trying to get a job and, you know, trying to maintain that job. The longer I stayed in the program, I thought to myself, I can make it out of the career. So I probably instilled it in my heart that, you know, I should do this, and I feel good coming here. Oh, I want to be a chef. I'm inspired to learn everything about being in the, you know, kitchen, because my grandmother, you know, she had a famous recipe, gumbo, but it's how her gumbo tastes, nobody's gumbo is compared to that. So I was like, I treasure that to be, you know, my goal to be a chef, because I want to learn that recipe, because she's not going to give it to me.
The Cowan Institute is connected to the several other organizations, community colleges, employers, et cetera, who are working in this endeavor to address youth disconnection, reconnect opportunity youth. And we really do that through trying to create pathways from disconnection to sustained reconnection. So what that really means is that we don't consider, with our Earn and Learn initiative, for example, we don't consider ourselves rivals or competitors to something like Cafe Reconcile, even though we are both in the business of workforce development. And that's because we don't think that one solution or one program is necessarily going to be sufficient for reconnecting opportunity youth, considering the degree and the level of needs that many of the young people in our city have. The Earn and Learn at Tulane is an employer-driven and anchor-led model of engaging employers in the process of reconnecting opportunity youth. So what this looks like is that young people are earning in paid apprentices at Tulane that are connected to high growth, high demand jobs and career pathways. And they are also learning both on the job and on Delgado's campus for about 20 hours a week in classroom settings to learn technical skills.
My reason for leaving high school was I had stability problems, so I couldn't attend school like I was supposed to. So I felt like after a little time passed by, it's, you know, enough is enough. I got to go back to school, so I went and put myself in GED, and I put myself into this program, and I'm going to keep on encouraging myself to get farther and farther so I could get further in life.
I always did like construction and computers, so I might want to, in a couple of years, I might want to start my own little crew, my own little company. With education and certification, there's no stopping. You can go anywhere.
So just in the first few months having launched the Earn and Learn, we've seen incredible growth among our apprentices in terms of their self-confidence, their self-worth, really feeling like they deserve to be in the jobs where they're at on Tulane's campus, and that they also deserve to be pursuing futures and deserve to be continuing to progress along career pathways in the fields that they've chosen. So the feedback that we've gotten from employers at Tulane has been incredibly encouraging. They have commented on the speed with which the apprentices have picked up on their job duties. They have commented on just the amount of help and the amount that they have contributed to the substance of what the department actually does. They have been extremely impressed by the dedication and passion, and many of them have actually had an experience of changing their own mindsets to say, wow, if we're exposing these opportunity youth to the job and to the skills, they will meet us much more than halfway.
When people ask me about Liberty's Kitchen and what we do, I tend to answer them with one word: we're an intervention. We work with vulnerable, high-risk youth between the ages of 16 and 24 and try and really help correct some of the harm that's been caused by the many systems that have been broken down and in many cases failed them. The school system, the criminal justice system, in many cases the family unit has broken down. And so we welcome them in and really help them to develop the skills and the confidence that they need to go out into the workforce and build prosperous and healthy futures for themselves and their families. Liberty's Kitchen is preparing young people for futures primarily in the hospitality industry, but the culinary skills that we teach are really just the means to the end. So we begin with the really essential life skills and foundational skills that they need just to survive in the world. And that starts with self-esteem. In many cases, these young people haven't really ever been loved or felt like they've been loved, so we greet them with that first and foremost. And then we help them just develop those everyday habits of success, like showing up on time, having a positive attitude, working well with others, and we know how difficult that can be sometimes. We help connect them to the essential supportive services that they need, like connecting them to a bank account, or getting them enrolled in Medicaid if they're Medicaid eligible, helping them get connected to child care services so that they can work and also know that their child is going to be taken care of. Working with vulnerable youth isn't something that any of us can do on our own. And to see the true spirit of collaboration that's now happening among the youth development organizations in the city, the movement toward a shared data network where we can really know in real time the services that are being delivered to students, across the platform of organizations throughout the city, that's really powerful. And so we have really strong relationships with the Youth Empowerment Project and with Covenant House and with other really important kind of anchor institutions for this population. We couldn't do our work without them, and I think they would acknowledge that they can't do their work without us. Our young men, almost to a person, will tell you that they expect by age 25 to either be dead or in jail. And that's a really stunning thing to hear from a young person who just doesn't have any hope about any kind of a positive path. And so I think if we weren't here, first and foremost, they'd have no hope. That's what we give them. We give them the chance to believe in themselves, the chance to dream about a future for themselves. And then we help them take small steps in that direction. It's a long process. We know that we're not going to solve this problem overnight, but by walking on that journey with them and helping them take those initial steps, it's our hope that they can really sustain that and perpetuate it over the long term.
I believe at Covenant House we care for the most damaged population of youth that exists in society. They are here because they are homeless. Most of our kids are modern-day orphans. They're not going to be kids anymore. They're going to be young adults who need to have an income, need to have an education, need to have a savings so that they can live in their own independent apartment. And that's where we work with our partners to make our kids self-sufficient and independent with real dreams, because they have so much promise. Most of our kids that we care for, these at-risk, these opportunity youth, have come from very difficult situations. 70% have been physically or sexually abused. Okay? They've experienced violence in the home, whether it be domestic violence or their own beatings. They've experienced and witnessed violence on the street. We're seeing a more damaged youth. We're seeing a youth who needs more support. And so they need a whole safety net that is helping to lift them up at first, but then it's putting them on a highway where they're really going after career jobs and they're really working on their education and wanting to pursue going to college. And they no longer want to just drift about. They have a set of goals. They've made choices to better themselves. But that can only be done if a whole host of agencies come together with their particular gifts, their particular skills, help that particular young person to get on the highway, and then, in some highway metaphor, provide the service roads with the service supports so that we keep them on that highway moving forward. And all of those partners, as we are, we refer back and forth. We're working and tracking with the same kid. We're providing comprehensive case management from multiple different angles, and we're all playing to our own particular strengths, all with that young person as the center of our thinking and doing.
I learned about the Work and Learn Center through the Covenant House. I had a case manager, and they told me that it was a good program. They teach you about work ethics. That it's a customer service class, and it's 12 weeks, and it helps you survive for the real world.
So in Jasmine's case, we look at a young woman who had some real serious housing issues where she needed to have a stable, safe place to lay her head, to feel like she could wake up and she could be safe and come to work and gain the skills she need to enter post-secondary, which she's doing in January. And so again, that's an amazing partnership that we have where our case management teams working together along with Covenant Houses to ensure that there is really continual communication, there's streamlined services. You also have two organizations that really love and care about young people, and I think that's just really fundamentally important. But YEP does not do housing. We don't do transitional residential services. That's not what we provide. That is what Covenant House provides. What YEP can provide are additional supportive services, job training, job readiness, and really just we provide the full circle of services when we work together. And I think that we've learned after Katrina, none of us can do this alone, that it takes all of us to make our young people healthier and to improve our city, and that we're really working hard as an Opportunity Youth community to get beyond competition and really work towards collaboration, and even further ahead, working towards collective impact. BCM has been our local match to an investment that the Trafigura Foundation based in Geneva, Switzerland has made. And we are now operating soft skill and hard skill programs, teaching young people foundational skills they need for any career. So all of the skills they're learning are transferable. They're learning how to shake hands, how to do resumes, how to interact with the public, how to have a higher sense of self-esteem about themselves. We also offer digital media, application design. They're doing customer service, they're doing bike repair shops, and we're about to open a healthy snowball stand and a juice bar in the spring where the young people will actually learn to operate their own store again. So we're just really feeling like our programs are giving young people the supports and the skills they need to be successful, meeting them where they're at and providing them with an array of services.
Well, definitely coming to YEP, I've built a higher self-esteem. I think the environment is just really positive, and everyone just here is so friendly and so welcoming. And I've learned a lot. Learning how to deal with, well, not deal, but meeting new people, diversity, and learning how to cope with different people and different attitudes in a positive way. The main thing that I know when I walk away from the Trafigura Learn Center, that there's hope. A lot of hope. And I think being in this program has made me feel like, you know, you can do anything, you know, and I've been really striving to do the best I can. I'm taking a big step, and I'm going to SUNO, which is Southern University of New Orleans, and I'm going to be either a nurse or a social worker.
We have a couple young women in our program, and the one thing that they've said is how much more confident they are, how much less shy they are, how much more able they are to communicate and talk to people. And I think that's just so important. Like when you see a kid's eyes, who's always used to be looking down, and now when you come in, they're looking up and their shoulders are back, there's just a sense of pride and how they feel better about themselves. And I think that's something, it's almost inquantifiable, but it's something that really, really young people can take forward for the rest of their lives. And if you feel better about yourself, then you treat yourself better, you treat others better. And I think it really lays the foundation for a better, happier, healthier, safer community for everyone. I would really just like to let BCM know how grateful I am and how grateful on behalf of all your grantees we are. I think the approach to grant making that BCM takes is something that is unfortunately not necessarily duplicated or done similarly in other foundations. I think BCM has true practitioners on the ground who understand the complexity of the issues, who understand the landscape, who understand how hard it is, but also that BCM is willing to make deep, deep investments over a long period of time. Our young people are so damaged, and we are dealing with generational poverty and generational challenges. And young people who were maybe 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 during Hurricane Katrina, who are now dealing with compounded issues of post-traumatic stress and different challenges. And the work is hard, and it is a marathon, and a lot of us have been doing this work for a long time, and we're committed to keep doing the work, but we need the support of BCM because, again, too few people really are invested and really care about this population. And it's not too late. We can keep working with them. We've proven we can change their lives. We've proven we can put them on the right track, but we need your continued help, and we're grateful for it, and we're here to continue to be good partners and to work with you. So I really just want to say thank you.